open us up with the Moorish American prayer. Allah, the Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my God, and my salvation. By night and by day, through his holy prophet, Ali. Amen. First, all rise, giving infinite, perfect praises to Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, freedom, and justice. Honors to his divine prophets and our prophet in the end time, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Confucius, reincarnated Prophet Double True Ali. Honors to his forerunner, the John the Baptist return, Marcus Messiah, Garvey Bay. Honors to the members of the Moorish Science of America, here, there, in this nation. Honors to Brother E. Melly Ill, First Supreme Grand Sheikh of the Moorish Science of America, all past, present, future leaders, all harbingers who pave the way for their children to be members of the Moorish Science of America. Honors to all stations of Moorish Science, Temple of America. Honors to Brother Marcus Messiah, Garvey Bay, and his movement, the UNIA, Universal Negro Empowerment Association. Honors to the past, present, future leaders. Honors to everybody in the chat. Honors to everyone who is taking heed to more science and not the ways of Rome. Today's show called Protect You ... No con ... So protect yourself. You gotta learn the ways of the world. You have to learn people. From a young baby to a young child, to adolescence, to adulthood. You have to study mama and papa. If you have both parents, mother and father, or if you have mother and father, study them. Because that determines on your well-being, your way of life, how you conduct yourself in public. But the most thing you must protect is yourself. In order to learn how to protect yourself, you gotta know what your likes and what your dislikes are. What can you tolerate and what can you not tolerate? So when you cannot tolerate certain things, then you already know what time it is. Right now the clock is going, but right now you have to make a decision on what it is you're going to allow in your life and what are you not going to allow. That's called protecting you. You gotta protect you from the outside world. You gotta protect you from toxic people. You gotta protect you from the wolves in sheep clothing. You gotta protect your way of life from people who, these brothers out here who act like they're the sons of Solomon, who are holier than thou and all of that, but they're all of a sudden the sons of Herod, sons of Satan, the devil, next to their sisters out there who are the Jezebel spirit, who are the lower self vibration, them ones. This applies to you, whatever. I'm not here to please anybody based upon what I have to say, based upon information I give, and based upon anything that I encounter within myself. Before you even think about making friends, watch them first. Be quiet and watch. Watch guys speak nothing. That tells you what type of company they keep. And when you understand these things in life, you begin to understand how to protect yourself. You gotta protect yourself from these worldly appetites of delights of food, clothing, hairstyle, fads, and all that other stuff. You can't protect yourself without knowing who you are first. What is it that brings you happiness? What brings you sad? What irritates you? And what puts you in shut-off mode where you just don't even want to be bothered no more? See, these are the things that you have to understand. This is why more science is a study of self. It is a study of the higher self, which is the Allah, and the lower self, which is the devil, Shaitan. So therefore, you have two masters that you're in, not cahoots, but you're making a decision on what side you're going to be on. That part. So, when you understand the conditions of the state of mind and the behaviors, you begin to understand how far you're going to go with somebody. Some people in your life are just going to be there just temporarily. Some people are going to be there permanent. And some people are just going to just drift off and use you as a tool and put you back in the tool shed. You may not be the sharpest tool in the shed, but your experience is going to make you a sharp tool in the shed. Because experience is your best teacher, children. And I'm saying this because I care for my people. I love my people. Let's see who we got. Maria Isabella, yes, Islam heaven high. Heaven high. Shout out to you in the chats. So when we start having an understanding of how people act, why they act, you already know where it's going to come from, because the fruit don't fall too far from the tree, nor does the fruit fall too far from the root. Whatever the seeds you put in your garden, that's what you're going to reap. You're going to reap what you sow, as far as your good deeds and your bad deeds. You're going to be in a trying time of error where there's people you can't get rid of out of your life, and there's going to be times when you can. But there's only a time will tell where we already know who the synagogues of Satan is. And we already know who the children of Satan is. And we already know who the biggest pedophiles are. I can't make it up if I wanted to. But I'll be honest with you and say this much. We got too much distractions going on not to know ourselves. We can think that the distraction is distracting us, but it's doing some good, but what can do some good can also do some harm. I was watching that movie Cell the other day and it tripped me out. It's sending out frequencies, yo. But at the end of the day, take upon someone else's weeds in their garden, their distress, but you can't even take care of your own. You know what they say, you mind your own, you live long. They may be true to a certain degree, but if Allah is calling you to assist, then you must assist. But I'm going to be very persistent on what I say and what I do, but I love my people so much that to the point where I have to leave my people alone. But I'm going to let y'all know this, that your brother man Moorish life is truly about being Moorish and nothing else. And being Moorish is studying the higher self and lower self and be able to master the mind, the complexity of the two different forms. Because there's only two things in the world, there's truth and falsehood. That same truth and falsehood is within you. That's what Jesus said. Seek ye first the kingdom of God, Allah and His righteousness, and He sees what be added upon to you. I said Allah because Jesus said Allah. Well, I want to say this much. If anybody out there who knows Aramaic other than the Jewish people, the Aramaic is equivalent to the Arabic. So there is no rebuttal of the situation. We have to take upon the consideration that we can only guard ourselves to a certain degree, but certain things are going to manipulate the situation where we have to just back away. And there's nothing we can do about it. We can sit here and tell the truth until we blue in the face, until we pass out. But just like DMX says, you call for help, but ain't nothing coming. Because you already scream wolf, you already cry wolf. Nah, whatever. And right now, I'm heading into an area where it's draining my energy and I'm feeling drowsy. And this is the part in life where you have to protect you. You have to understand, why are you feeling drowsy? That's number one. Number two, you got to figure out what area you in that's draining your energy. Because what's going on is that all that positive energy that you have is being transferred over to the other entity, which is other way of life, which is the lower self, which breeds hatred, slander, lewdness, murder, theft, and everything that harms. So while your energy is being abstracted from you, you only can do so much. But at the end of the day, you know when it's going to happen, because you're going to feel it. You're going to feel exhausted. You're going to feel like your eyes are getting heavy. You're going to feel like, well, I'm kind of, pretty much what I'm feeling right now. Not kind of, but what I'm feeling right now. But you have to understand that there's so much that's going on in the cares of the world that it distracts you from one thing, so you don't have your mindset on that thing, but you already have an idea what's going on because they can't pull the wool over your eyes. Sometimes they can pull the wool over your eyes depending on your strength of your mindset. It's all good, but whatever. Only you decipher what is right for you and what is wrong for you. If you know that pork is bad eating and it tastes good because of the salt content, then you need to check up from the neck up. Matter of fact, y'all need to get a checkup from the neck up. Depending on the vice or depending on the situation that you all are going through. So you have to really think about what works for you and what doesn't work for you. These things are valid. These things are definitely important. So that way you know how to protect yourself. But all in all, the most important thing is making sure that you got yourself right. Instead of having someone else trying to babysit you, like they the daddy or the mommy or whatever. They have to critique you everything you do. I'm not going for it. Me? Nah. I'm definitely not. Because there's only so much you can do. So when you're going through the motions of life, you step back and think about this show. But the only thing I can say is make sure that you're eating healthy, you're eating right, resting right, and give yourself some time away from the family, some time to be able to think. See, you can't think when someone's always up in your face. those who don't care, don't care. The most important diet is fruits and vegetables. But taking the time out away to yourself to contemplate, think, and make sure you're doing the right thing, that's just as good, and that's just as important. So just make sure that you have a plan to do what you gotta do. And yourself. So give me a moment of silence, family. There's things that a lot of people are doing today that I could never do growing up. And that's talking back and getting smart and all that. So the more complicated things in life is the struggle to get out of the situation. And getting the help you need is the best. By yourself. When is it that at the end of the day you take a load off, relax, vibe right? Well, family, just make sure that whatever problems and trials and tribulations you're going through, just make sure that you do what I'm telling you. Very good, please. So we all have to make a decision. And also be careful of your word about your surroundings. That's another way of protecting yourself. Never put yourself in a situation that can do someone else some harm. First you're hot, then you're cold. Then you're cold, then you're hot. It's all about safety. It's not about there's nothing you can do about other people's actions. There's you can't change anybody, even if you put it back up. But the only person you can change is yourself. Your actions and reactions depend on the situation. All depends on what's your mind at the time. If you're feeling good, you're gonna treat people good. If you're feeling bad, you're gonna treat people bad. If you're feeling groggy, you're gonna definitely treat some people groggy. And some people ain't gonna take that so much. Enjoy the win. gotta shield yourself from a lot of chaos, a lot of negative energy, and all that. You have to. You'll notice certain behaviors based upon how people react, how people say, "Oh, I'm just joking." Yeah, right. You're not joking. You're serious. But all in all, you can really see where people's hearts and minds are based upon how they react. And me personally, I'm not very social with certain people. I still have to be careful within myself of who I talk to, because these people are going to do everything they can to destroy your reputation. Like it says in the movie Malcolm X, a man's reputation is travel. That's true. So a lot of people are going to try to have straight credibility, but they have no credibility to hold oneself accountable for their actions. So this is not really. It's not really upon a decision for other people to maybe set up people and try to sympathize with them, and they're not doing right by other people. That's a dilemma I find very diabolical amongst people. Make sure that you're safe. That's what I offer to people. Some people don't want that. Okay, take a break, family. Hold on. Enjoy the wind. Relax. Take yourself. the wind, some air fresh to relax. I see we got 2 likes for this chat, for the show today. Praise Allah for the show. Praise Allah for the people. Marie, yep, praise Allah for her and her family. Islam. Had to take a moment of silence for the people. For a nice wind to send positive energy your way. That was all part of the plan. It was all part of the show, other than me speaking based upon what I know. But you have to make a decision, family, on what you're gonna do. So all in all, we gotta make for sure that we're doing everything we can to do the right thing, not only to ourselves but towards each other. So also, I forgot to tell y'all, when you guys are traveling in certain areas and you're feeling yourself drowsy, play some music or something. Some high vibrational music like Michael Jackson or something like that. Some high vibrational music, so that way you could be able to, you know, kind of wake you up a little bit. If you ain't got no coffee, I feel sorry for you. I do. Say what I do, or what you do. What do I do? Alright, bro. So, while my brother man over there singing to himself. Yeah. So, gotta give you guys a little understanding about DJ Kool. DJ Kool right now he's on vacation, so he ain't been really doing any sound music for me, and he's got a lot going on right now. So we're gonna give a shout out to DJ Kool, my personal DJ, of course, who does the music in the background. So shout out to him and his family. Yes, show some love to DJ Kool. Your brother man Moore's life is just truly understanding about why people are toxic. And I think the most important thing that really is a toddler walking and say this cuss word, say that cuss word. I was like, what? Oh, God, these people are crazy. You're gonna teach a toddler how to cuss, how to disrespect the elders. So, all y'all Jezebel women out there who teaching their children how to cuss and be teaching them profane, dirty language, you know what? You need your mouth washed out, and I don't mean mouthwash, old school. Soap in the mouth, 1 hour for the whole hour. That's what you need. I guarantee you ain't gonna be using no cuss word. You ain't gonna have that potty mouth again. Oh yeah, I'm not lying. I'm telling the truth. I am telling the truth. So lead in a child the way that they could go, and when they, by the time they get older, they won't depart from it. Somewhere in Proverbs it said that. So what's the plan? How you gonna teach your child? You gonna teach them how to be vulgar, be evil? Is that what you're gonna do? Oh, that's your choice. Okay, fine. But at the end of the day, it's all about what you're gonna do. And right now, if you're not doing the right thing, you're gonna pay the price. Right now, you're living good. Okay, yeah, you got your car banged up. Yeah, we know you can't drive. We know that you are reckless out there because you have a reckless state of mind. You guys gotta be careful about how y'all, you know what I'm saying? Watch people how they drive. They're reckless, and you still want to holler at them? Ooh. Yeah, they're gonna be the death of you one day. I'm just being honest. The death of you, and your world is gonna collapse like Babylon. I'm not lying. So the lie is on, and you can do as you please, and you can do as you like. But I am not the one. I'm good. Happiness and tranquility with peace and love is my ulterior motive. But I'm gonna call it out what it is. If you don't like it, you stub your toe. Hey, that's your problem. If the shoe fits, take it off. If the shoe fits too tight, leave it on. Take it off. So, man, I'm telling y'all, people just, they're just not in their right mind. And I'm looking at the time right now. My gosh. Oh, wow. It just hit 12 noon and there's no sun out. On this Sunday, May 17th. Man, okay. All right, y'all. I'm going to close this out with the motion maker prayer. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation by night and by day. Through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. Ameen. I pray that whatever trials and tribulations y'all go through as a family, as a whole, whatever the case may be, I pray that y'all conquer it in the name of peace. Peace and love. Islam. All right, y'all. I'm out. Peace and love.